Wish I would have started the video a bit earlier so I could have shown you the whole process of picking it up, tearing it apart, power washing it, all the fun stuff, and a little time lapse or something. But I did get some before and after pictures of it. But I'll give you a quick rundown on pretty much how I got it, how much I paid for it, what I'm doing to it, yada yada. Sorry about the mess, but we got a 2006 Polaris Sportsman 700, runs and drives, new tires, new rims. Pretty kick-ass if you ask me. Not that much rust at all. The only thing that really has rust on it and the whole entire thing is the exhaust. So 700 Sportsman Twin, I ripped off all of the plastics right away. That's what I do with everything. See what we got here. We got new fuel injectors going in. Just got those today. We got the new oil filter going in. Doing an oil change today also. And I got a new exhaust manifold here. Old one had a crack in it. I don't have a welder yet, so not messing with that. It was only like 20-30 bucks, so I bought a brand new one. I'm gonna pop that on. I'm gonna reuse this old exhaust. I'm gonna wrap it in heat shield because it melted through the plastic right here, if you could see. And I guess that's common on this ATV. There's this little piece of aluminum or foil that gets stuck down here, and it falls off after dirt gets on it, and it just melts right through. So we are definitely gonna be wrapping this with heat wrap. My goal today is to do the oil change, get the injectors in. Already put new spark plugs in the other day. I went up to O'Reilly's and just picked some up, so spark plugs are good to go. Got those gapped right. New batteries already in it. And I'll give you a little rundown on kind of how I picked it up and what I paid for it here too. So, the story on how I picked this up and what I paid for it. I am always on Facebook Marketplace. That's just how I am. I'm always scrolling through it, looking for good deals, looking for stuff I don't need that I buy anyway. My girlfriend loves that when I bring stuff home. Oh, you should look at this too. Almost done rebuilding that whole thing. Have the chair for it, steering wheel, new computer setup. That'd be a sick video. Essentially, I was going through Facebook and I found a snowblower. Very expensive snowblower. It's worth like 2,200 bucks new, 2,500 or something. It's a Stage 3 Cub Cadet 30-inch, used one time by some older fella. He ended up buying a plow on a UTV and didn't need it, so I got a really good deal on that. Paid about 900 bucks for that thing, so I was just gonna keep it. But what it ended up doing was missing my old ATV I had with a plow, and I was like, well, I'll just throw this killer deal I got on this snowblower on 2 years later. I posted it, which was literally about a month ago today, and I was seeing if there's any bites on it for like 1,500 bucks, and I was like, firm, I'd make 600 bucks off of it. I used it for 2 years, still in mint condition, and then I can put that money towards an ATV with a plow, so I wanted one. Turns out this guy messaged me and said, hey, I got a 05 Sportsman, turned out being an 06. He said, I have an 05 Sportsman, I'm willing to trade. I don't need the thing. I use my ATV, or UTV. I don't need this ATV anymore. It's just taking up room. And he said, quite frankly, I don't even need a snowblower, but that one's really big, so it'd probably help me in little areas on this farm. Okay, does it run? Like, the first thing I thought was, you're gonna trade an ATV, 05 ATV Sportsman 700, fuel injected, for a snowblower? Turns out it ran. Has 5,000 miles on it, but it runs. It was used just up and down this 3-acre farm, and he was ready to let it go. And then he threw that little curveball at the end. He's like, well, I know it's worth a lot more than the snowblower, but if you threw some cash down on it, then I would be down for the deal. I almost offered him $1,000 on top of the snowblower right off the bat, because even that's a good deal. Then I'd be a total of $1,900 into it. But I asked him instead, how much would you like? He said he'd be cool with $800. Still a good deal on trade. He's gonna, of course, give it to me under trade value, yada yada. I said, deal. So now I'm a total of $1,700 into this thing. It runs, new tires. You saw the thing. Killer deal. Nobody can get one of these for 1,700 bucks that runs in this condition with what it has done to it. So now I have it at my house now. I am tearing it apart, buttoning everything up, cleaning it up, gonna throw it back together, throw a plow on it, and see how long I keep it before I make some money off of it and buy another dumb toy. But enough of me talking. I'm gonna do this oil change and throw these injectors in, and might mock up the exhaust and see if it runs a little smoother with all these little upgrades and yada yadas I did on it. But well, I'll throw you in the corner and you can watch if you want. I'll do a little time lapse, see what happens here. So far we have the oil filter out, the dipstick out, and the plug on the bottom out. So we're gonna put everything back in and some new full synthetic PS4 oil in it, and we'll be done with the oil change. Just hand tighten that. So I forgot to get it on video, but I got the new fuel injectors in. I got the gas tank in, plugged everything in. Now I'm going to just mock everything up, kind of get everything plugged in, get the battery hooked up, throw the exhaust on quick. That takes like 10 seconds, and then I'll try to fire her up and just see if it idles a little smoother, or see if it blows up. Guess we're gonna find out. Well, as I was putting everything back together, FedEx showed up with my fuel pump, so looks like we'll be getting somewhere on this today. None of this stuff was supposed to come today. This is all supposed to come at the end of the week, and it's Wednesday, so everything's showing up. We're gonna throw it all on as much as we can, see how far we get. So I just put all that together and I'm ripping it all apart again. That should be fun. See you in a bit again. Alright guys, I got the new fuel pump in finally. Kind of sketchy, but I dumped all the old fuel out, and there's this filter on the bottom of the fuel pump that was just completely disintegrated all over the tank. I dumped all the old gas out. It was like brown, so hopefully that's why it was bogging down, just clogged full of crap, and hopefully the injectors and all this new stuff takes care of it. So yeah, I'm going to put it back to where it was before I tore it all apart. Well guys, put a new fuel pump on, not knowing if I needed to, and now it's not even running. And it dies. The joys. I'm gonna swap it to the old fuel pump and see if that's the issue quick. Well, I just watched a YouTube video and I think I found the issue. When you have the fuel pump out, there's a regulator that when you swap the regulator out, there's 3 little clamps that you snap it into, and I broke one of the arms off the little hands that hold it. So I tried zip tying it on, and I think I'm getting blow by where the regulator sits. So I'm gonna tear a pump out one more time, put the new one I bought back in because it's not the pump, guaranteeing that it's the regulator. So hopefully that I should fix it. So here should be, there's a clip there, black clip there, and that one snapped off. So this regulator right here has O-rings in it, and it wasn't seating right. I literally watched a video on what not to do, and I did it. Alright guys, I resorted to JB Weld, so that actually should work. And after that hardens up, I'll just throw this ring on it. It doesn't need to be like super tight. It just, after it sets, you don't want this like move around. As long as those O-rings are pressed in there and this is on there, it will be perfectly fine. That JB Weld is some magical stuff. So alright guys, I'm back. I'm gonna end this video right here. This is the next day. I was in here not even recording. I was stressing out. I couldn't get this thing to run. So I got the regulator on. I put a clamp around it. That's good to go. I ended up getting this wrap too. Look at this. The garage is a bigger mess. Yeah. But ended up getting the exhaust wrapped. Cleaned up those heat shields. Looks really good. Got some new seals in there, new springs. What else did I get in? Oh yeah, I got a new front bushing on both sides, so that's good. No more wobbling side to side. And now I'll show you something. Like, this thing runs. Let me show you quick. It runs. only when that check engine light's on. So actually all of that bogging down that I thought was the fuel pressure, blah, 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 that actually was the problem, the regulator, but there's still another problem, and it is notorious on these ATVs. The map, your airflow sensor, this one's shot, the wire's pulled out, and that's probably what's causing all of the weird idling problems with this. So far, we're at the point where all of this stuff I did could have been for nothing, but I mean, it can't be for nothing. It's still good what I did to it, but a lot of it could have been unnecessary. But when I'm flipping stuff, or even if I'm going to keep it, I always try doing the best I can to, even if I'm not keeping it, someone's gonna have a nice unit, you know. I like to get them, make sure they're solid. I'm not just flipping crap for people to get screwed on. Like this, I had a flat tire here. I ended up rebeading it, so it's holding air finally. I could make a video on how to reseal your bead if you want. But so I'm gonna get the new map sensor and wiring harness. I'm just gonna splice into these wires, test them, throw that in. Should get rid of that check engine light, and this thing should be on the road. And then I'll do a quick video putting all the plastics back on, and then probably order a plow for it, and then do a video on how to mount a plow on it. And then hopefully we get some snow and I can show you guys this thing in action, and then get some more videos out doing other stuff. Who knows? We'll see how far this one gets. But all right guys, catch you later. Thanks for watching.